Hey, welcome ladies and gentlemen to a new night point of view review. In front of us is the first Mazda fully electric car, the MX-30. If we unlock, you can see the bright LED lights, and just gonna walk around a little bit. This is a steel gray color. We're on 18-inch alloys. This is the launch edition package. So price of this car is 35,000 euros. With a government funding of 9,000, comes to 26. If the European Union in the future cancel VAT, value added tax on electric cars, it's going to be even less. So probably dirt cheap. Anyway, let's see the car. It locked itself by accident. Cargo space, 366 liters, 1,171. If you knock down the seat, you know, for a city hatchback, it's a decent. This is actually like a compact SUV with a sport back end, but it has a hatch. So the battery inside is 35.5 kilowatt hour battery. 30 is usable, with a 200 kilometers range. In winter it's going to be less than that, around 120, 60. Really depends on your driving style. So let's get inside. It's freezing. Car weighs 2 tons. And anything else to add? Let's just sit inside. So top speed is 140 kilometers per hour officially. I've got to 147. 0 to 100, we're gonna test it maybe, but it's 9.7 seconds. So this isn't a fast electric car. It has a smaller battery because this car is intended as a city commute car. So, and for those who have a garage or a home, you know, from the start, let's make that clear. So this isn't like a long range car. So Mazda was looking like European standard, excuse me, is less than probably 200 kilometers. In the city it's like maybe 10-15 kilometers, 20, and then you can really drive for a week with one full charge. Okay, so this has a bass speaker, so let's test it out. I can't play too long, but not to get a copyright strike, just to turn on the lights to show you the interior, how it looks. The buzzing sound is the AC. So I like the white interior and this Scandinavian style. The materials are a lot of recycled materials, like this corks and some other this gray area, and the leather is animal free, so really nice. So let's turn off the light and head out and start driving. A little critic from the start, Mazda for some reason has this side mirror is really close. It should be a little further away, so I had to back up a little bit even more. But yeah, besides that, don't have too many critics. I know most of the journalists criticize the range, that it's small, but this car is actually very efficient. So I'm going to just show you navigation real quick. So navigation is here, but I've set the illumination to like dimmed. There's a day, but it's too bright. You can lower the dim even less lighter, but I think this should be fine, and I'm hoping you should be seeing the heads-up display as well. What I'm going to go to turn on the infotainment, and I'm going to say here, so you're going to see the average consumption. Now just lower this. I'm just gonna turn to 1 seat heating, excuse me, different way to arrange the words in Croatian and English. And we're heading off. So the car has a nice good turning angle if you need to park. The Mazda is a very good value for money. You might be thinking why. Well, here's why. Because it's not declared as a premium brand, but it definitely is a premium brand when you look at the interior quality and overall quality of the car build. Inside it's very nice and minimalist, but it has a very good high quality materials. And So I've mentioned we're sitting on 18-inch alloys. The ride comfort is really nice, considering this tire size and the alloy dimension. We are on winter tires, and the car in general doesn't feel too heavy like some other electric cars. I don't feel that weight, and it just feels nice and comfortable. The seats also very comfortable. I spent a lot of time in this car yet today, and I haven't had any back pain, so I'm really pleased with the car. Interior in general. Also, while we are at the interior, I must say I like the Mazda concept of the AC. It's better than the most German cars who are switching completely to digital screens. This still has physical buttons you can use, and the touchscreen function is turned off while you're moving. When you stop, you're in your stationary, then you can turn on and play with those. So I'm really going to lower the temperature because I'm feeling hot. Now, I like the Mazda interior. The steering wheel is nice, the displays are nice. You can see here info. If I come a little bit closer, you can change to driving info. You can see the consumption, or this car lanes, or just this classic dial. It's pretty simple. Then you have this charge and power, how much you're using. We have sport pedals, and you can control. If you come closer, you can see D, and it goes down. That's twice the recuperation, and then the up is like faster, more power. The car's using more power, and the lower it is losing more recuperation. It's braking with the electric motor. So there's 5 steps of recuperation, if you will. Okay, enough with the interior. The back, yeah, it is only for maybe average size adults for a short journey, or kids mainly, and this is like a second car. Now, I did have a little problem here because of this camera system on top of that middle mirror to see the traffic light, but it's a little con. But you are tall and you have pretty good overview front and the sides. You have blind spots in the package, like blind spot warning and physical mirrors, so it's not a problem. Even when parking, it shouldn't be a problem for most people, although when you want to turn, you really can see a lot behind you. But the overview in the middle mirror is also good. Okay, I think I've covered most of the stuff. Now let's start talking about driving, and before we mention all the feelings, is also you can hear this sound that sounds like an engine. It's like a fake sound of the engine that Mazda decided it's cool. From the start it does feel cool, but then after some moment, after 5 minutes, I really want to turn it off. I want to enjoy the silence of the electric car. And this car has a very good soundproof inside the cabin, so it's pretty good. Now you can see my consumption. I was driving kind of my style, a little bit faster. I actually drive even faster, but it's cold. I know I'm gonna lose the battery range if I drive faster, so I've got 30, and when I'm really driving gently, I get around 20-ish or 15 when I'm really gentle. Now, I did give a turn signal because I was a little bit distracted because of this car, so didn't realize I was in the wrong lane in the roundabout. But anyways, yeah, the sound, I'd like to turn it off. It's not an option, but besides that, it's very good. Now the driving part. Now I got a blind spot warning, but I was good. So the car constantly keeps track of the traffic behind you, in front of you. It's all standard in the package. That's why Mazda is really a huge value for money. In most of German cars, you would pay a lot extra for all these options, and that's one of the reasons I love Mazda cars. And Japanese cars, I guess in general. Anyway, driving. So with the mentioned recuperation, now if I let go of the accelerator pedal, I'm coasting, and then I'm slowly starting to, like now, starting to lose speed, and the car is kind of braking. But if I press D once down, it's starting to brake, and then I'm accelerating, and then the second one, even more the acceleration. So with this two braking modes, you can drive one pedal like most of electric cars. There's not much coasting, you're just braking with the electric motor and recuperating that energy back into the battery. In the D and D plus, you can feel the car even coasting more, but it's also a lot easier to speed up. So if you're on a traffic light, you want to speed up, it's a lot easier. But I think I like to be in the D mode, and sometimes when I want to brake, I just press the pedal and let the car brake. That way I'm using the energy back and not wasting it. So I don't have to really use the brakes as much, only when it's like emergency or when I fully want to stop. There's an auto hold, so you need to press it and press the brake, and then when the hold turn on the side there left, then the car will stop and auto hold is on. Otherwise, if you don't fully, press the brake inside, it'll start creeping forward. So this is what I was saying. I'm gonna go to the plus. You can see that power going up, and then the plus all the way twice, and the car is then really easily speeding up. Indeed, gradually, and it's really also on your feeling. You have to develop a feeling for electric cars. If you jump from a classic car, it's gonna be weird. Sometimes you're gonna be the car's gonna be too fast. You just have to develop a sense of feeling for the accelerator pedal. So one interesting thing, I did mention that in my full in-depth review of the car, the AC. Well, I've been driving with an AC. It's not a huge problem if you don't use a lot of heat, but you can turn off the AC. The screen won't turn off, but you're gonna instantly see your range increase by 5 to 8 kilometers. So, which is a cool stuff, because even though you turn off the AC, the seat heating is on. So in this case, even if it starts getting colder inside, you're not breathing warm air. It's healthier, and you still feel warm because you have a heating system below you. But I'm gonna turn the AC on just to have some fresh air coming inside. Now, change the lane. So the car steering is excellent. It's precise. Mazda is known about its vectoring system, so it distributes power very good to the wheel, even in the bends, in the corners, to each wheel separately as much as needed, so you have the best grip. The car has a even 50-50 weight distribution. The battery is more towards the back a bit, but it has a very low center of gravity, so you're really stiff and confident when going through the corners even faster, and the car doesn't really tilt as much. So I really like that. Japanese engineers, they love cars, they love speed. Oops, maybe I could have made it, but I decided to stop. But the car is very confident on the road, and it's very comfortable, and I like it. I like the fact that you're tall, you have a good overview around yourself, and the feeling on the road. The brakes are not aggressive from the start, and as mentioned, you don't need to use them as much because of the recuperation, and or electric motor braking. So I was thinking which would I mention first, but yeah, overall, this car is, I would say, excellent. But Mazda decided we're gonna put a small battery and we're gonna give it a hybrid option. So I guess it's pretty obvious they weren't seriously looking into stepping into electric era. They were still a little bit holding down on that idea. But I believe with the development of batteries, we're now in 2001, but I believe in the next 4 years there will be a breakthrough in development of the battery, especially if you heard what Tesla announced on its battery day. So there's a different chemistry in the new batteries, different style. There's going to be more power in the same weight, so there's going to be more power density, and which means you'll be able to store more power in the same weight. So imagine in this battery size, which is a small battery, you can store even more range. So that would be cool. One thing with the electric car is that some of them are very heavy, but if you get the low range, they're really more light on the light side, and they're really comfortable. Some people don't like to sacrifice the comfort. Like when you're driving some of those like Tesla Model 3 long range, you can feel it's a very heavy car. It needs a lot of power to start moving, especially the Model X. It's like a truck. It's like semi, feels like it's a tank. Here you can hear that engine buzzing sound. The lights are excellent. It has an automatic long beam. But when you drive the Tesla Standard Range Plus, you can feel how light the car is. See, the car already registered the car in the back, and it turned off the long beam not to blind the driver. So that is excellent. Now I'm gonna be a little bit quiet. I'm gonna come to the maximum speed, so you're gonna hear the noise inside the cabin. I think around 100 it's a very good soundproof. I managed to get today to 147, so I guess maybe downhill you could reach 150, but there's a lot of power you're using. So let me switch to the info screen, so you might be able to see, like when I'm maintaining my speed, I'm not using a lot of power, but when I want to accelerate to the desired speed, there's a lot of power I'm using. So you can press the speed limiter. It's pretty dead easy to use, and you press the set button. It's a green arrow like a dial, and then you can set your speed. Speed limit is marked with a red, and when you start going across, you can see that it marks it. And it's a cool thing, you can have cameras, so the navigation tells you if there's a speed trap. So there's a lot of cool features in Mazda. And I must say, I really like these LED lights. They're excellent. You can see excellent the road markings, other vehicles. And of course, if I change the display, you can see the distance. You can change the distance in front of the truck in front of us. You can also see in the heads-up display. You can see now when I'm going above the speed limit, it's marked in red. Now there's a 100 speed limit here, but it's just because it's an overpass. Most speed limit is 130, and there's a 10% tolerance plus 10% tolerance on the highway as well. It's stated in the law, so we're allowed to drive 150, 156, but keeping to 150, that's something I communicated with the local police. They told me you're fine, protected by law until 150. Okay, so the long beam is on this time. I don't think it switched off. But yeah, you can see now I'm driving 100 and our consumption is 24. Now, I like the lane assist. I'm gonna let the car deliberately go to the lane and it's gonna correct me. But it looks like it was about to bounce me between the lanes. When you're going straight, it doesn't do that. But it's pretty okay. It does the purpose it's supposed to do. So I just want to see 24. Yeah, that's the average 24 or a little bit less when you're driving 100 kilometers per hour. So this is our stop. Just gonna press the brake and now I let the car coast. I like coasting. It's my driving style. But then I don't really have to touch the brakes. Now when I'm entering the corner, I just use the pedals to recuperate. So I'm using the energy. If I really need to slow down, I can press once more and then really slow down. And then easily speed up. So, you know, you can have fun with these electric cars. Even if it has a small range, doesn't mean it can be fun and that it can be usable. You just need to find a way, because this car, when it's, you know, summer temperatures or just warm weather, 200 kilometers should be enough through the week, maybe even 2 weeks almost. But now it's actually -1 degrees Celsius outside, so considering that I've started with maybe 111-ish kilometers, didn't really look, but we're now at 100. I know we did maybe a little bit more than 10 kilometers, 20 perhaps, but 15 maybe. I didn't look the odometer. Mazda didn't hide the odometer. Speed limiter. Now you can also just press the speed limit. I'm not sure if you can see it there. So now we're not on the highway. Speed limit here is 80 and 10% is 88, so you can just select that and then you just keep your foot on the accelerator pedal and it's driving and you're safe. You know, even if there's a police car measuring the speed, you won't get a ticket, so that's pretty cool. But again, then, if you can see now when I maintain my speed, I'm really not using a lot of power. You can see on the bottom, it's very gradually. The most power you use when you're accelerating, and then when you're, you know, maintaining your speed, you're really moving gradually. You're not using too much power. You can see the energy efficiency had dropped to average 22. So I did manage to get it around 15. When I was really going, you know, I just caught a green light for the traffic and I was going around 60, and you know, it was around 15. So this car, compared to other cars that I've driven, or the electric cars, is very efficient. In the Peugeot I got around 20, even the Volkswagen ID as well. But once you reach the highway, most of these cars jump up to 30 kilowatts per 100 kilometers. So that's the power consumption. It's still all new to me, so I would recommend, I'm gonna put a link in the description to EV database. Over there you can find they have the most experience with the real consumption, depending on the weather as well, so you can find all about this car and other EVs. Now you can see the chart spiked to 50 because I realized when the car is stationary it just spikes up, although it's not supposed to be using any power right now, but I guess it's controlling the AC. Let me see if I turn off the AC. Now I'm not sure how fast it updates, but maybe should be like less. You can also see the range here, 109. If I turn it on, 102. Yeah, let's just fully stop. Show you the lights. This is a reverse camera, pretty good and solid. And You can see the lights. This is the long beam. It's pretty good. Probably among the best. Probably after the matrix lights, this is probably one of the best so far I've seen. So I'm gonna take my iPhone. Okay, so this is the iPhone. You can see outside. So if you use the long beam, you see it has a better camera, bigger sensors, so it's pretty decent look there. I think it's even brighter when you're driving and when it's on automatic game. Okay, 0 to 100 test. Gonna put it in the plus twice and floor it. The brakes are pretty good, and especially when you have recuperative braking. And when recuperative braking is on, the brake light turns on. I only notice in Peugeot French cars that it doesn't, so it's also good. Okay, so if you go to the navigation, press the menu, and you go down and actually up at destination, you have let me see here, charging stations. So you can see those, so you can find a charging station, probably the nearest, 3 kilometers. So I know this one's free. I just want to see, navigate to route. How does it look? So
after 10 meters, turn left.
Oh, so it's pretty nice. Have it in the heads-up display, and on
to bear left after 1.7 kilometers.
That was pretty cool. I'm gonna turn it off probably, but I just wanted to see how it looks. You can even see some 3D buildings. Now, I think we've summoned most of the stuff I can think of. I hope I didn't miss anything, but it's time to, you know, wrap it up and gather impressions of this car. And the main question is, would I buy it or not, or who is Mazda aiming with this car? What consumers? So I've mentioned before in my review, my full in-depth review, this car reminds me of the BMW i3. So yeah, premium interior, you know, practical for the city, same as the BMW i3. I think this is a great car when you have in mind what this car was built for and its purpose. So I would compare its purpose to the i3. It's a city, you know, commute car, environment friendly. There's a lot of recycled material here, like the cork and some other stuff. So, you know, it's a sustainable car. Again, premium feeling. And when you compare it to a BMW, I think what you get in this car, it's more value for the budget. So overall, I know the, you know, journalists, many reviewers have you know, said the range is bad, but you know, it is small range, but you have to consider what this car was built, what was its purpose. So, you know, what we talked at the beginning, this is Mazda's first electric car. I'm sure in the future, when the battery is developed, the prices drop of the battery technology, Mazda is going to consider electric cars with a bigger battery size and more range. And I can't wait for that, to be honest, because I like Mazda and Japanese engineering. It's a very high quality made car. This in particular, and other new Mazda cars that I've tested so far. So I would consider this car if you're looking for a maybe second electric car, just to enter the electric you know, vehicle you know, market, if you want to try out something new, and you know, if you don't want to worry going to long journeys, commutes with the electric cars or the infrastructure, but you know, you have a local infrastructure that's really good and supportive, then you can get this as a second family car to go in the city. It's more relaxed driving electric, and I really like Mazda to reconsider turning off the electric sound. I mean, it's not too annoying, but I like the silence when I'm driving electric. Now hear this. There's electric sound, of course, to warn the pedestrians at low speeds. So deliberately left the window down. I'm just gonna raise it up, as there's internal combustion cars. So it's really quiet, and then when you press the accelerator pedal, it starts making the sound. Now I like to park somewhere there's more room, but I also wanted to demonstrate where there's more light so you can see better the car. Also wanted to demonstrate the electric car noise when you're reversing. So okay, here's a nice spot. Actually, there's some bag full of garbage. It's odd. This place is usually pretty clean. Okay, let's go here. About to end the video. I usually just park like going from point A to point B to make it like a real life scenario, but sometimes stuff doesn't go as planned, so I'm gonna reverse in here. Now let's see, I'm just gonna lower the window so you can hear that sound. Not really sure if you can hear that. It's like a weird buzzing sound. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna park. So usually good at parking, but pick the spot. So now it looks like it's hard to park the car. It's really not. I just didn't pick a good angle at the start because of that thing. Now coming closer. This is kind of risky. I think this is fine. And put it to park. Now when you're in reverse, I like to come to the garage because you can see better the interior. Now you can see the mirror dipped, or you can change it to this one. So this is really practical. In my car, Skoda, you only have the left one. This one has the right one as well on the Mazda, so it's pretty cool. And the backing camera is quite decent graphics. So for what the purpose is, it's not super sharp, but it's not also very poor resolution. So thank you for watching. I'm gonna see you in the next one. If you like the content, please give it a huge massive like, leave a comment below what do you think about the Mazda MX-30. I'd like to hear your opinions, and share it with your friends if someone's looking for the car. If you're in the Mazda forums, please do share. It helps me a lot. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Hope you're gonna subscribe and click the bell to get notifications when I upload a new video. And as always, stay safe on the road and at home. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.